The Apple TV device, this little box that you see here, it's very easy to set up and works really good right out the box. So for many users, they don't really take the extra time to look into different menus and different features that it has to offer. And so in this video, I'm going to be showing you some Apple TV 4K features that you might not probably be using, but absolutely should. The first feature is one that's hardly talked about, and it's eARC support on the Apple TV. This is really useful if you have stereo HomePods on your Apple TV paired as the speakers, as these will allow you to be able to airplay audio from different other devices such as consoles to your HomePod via the Apple TV, and this will go a long way in enhancing and enriching your user experience. This can be found by going into your settings, and if you go down to where it says video and audio right there, you have the audio output, and if you click there under this section, if you have a stereo HomePod pair, then you'll be able to go into the sub menu section and select it, and now your different PlayStation, Xbox, or even different hubs will be able to play using the stereo HomePod pair, and that will enhance the audio experience on your Apple TV. Now, throughout the years, Apple has actually been making some minor updates and fine-tuning the Apple TV application. It's one of the main and actually the first preloaded app that shows up when you connect and set up your Apple TV for the first time. So here are some neat new features that you might not know on the Apple TV app. A pretty new update here is called Insight, thanks to the new tvOS 18 update, and this Insight feature is only supported on Apple TV original shows, and if you swipe down on your remote, or if you're using an iPhone and you swipe down, Insight will be able to show you information such as the actor and character names, and at the same time, if you are looking at a subsection of the show where there is audio playing in the background or music in the background, then it will be able to show you the exact name of the song that's playing, all thanks to this new Insight feature. A new feature recently enabled on the Apple TV is enhanced dialogue, and this feature basically emphasizes the speech of the person that's speaking by boosting the volume of the voice relative to other sounds in the background. It could be like other people speaking in the background or background noises such as traffic and so on, and you can see here you have the ability to boost that enhanced dialogue, all thanks to this new tvOS 18 feature. And the good thing about enhanced dialogue is that it's supported on TV speakers and receivers along with AirPods. Even though Apple is not the first streaming service to bring this enhanced dialogue feature to their streaming devices, it actually works pretty good, and according to Apple, it uses some sort of machine learning to be able to accomplish this, which is a form or another way of Apple saying that it uses some sort of AI implementation. If you're playing an original Apple TV show right here, you can see subtitles are not showing, but as I tap back, or if I press the left button, it goes back by about 10 seconds, and every time I do that, it automatically turns on subtitles. If you press the mute button or you reduce the volume all the way to 0, automatic subtitles will be put on screen, and that way if you just want to read without hearing the audio, it will automatically be available for you. If you long press and switch off the Apple TV itself, so I'll long press, you can see the Apple TV has disappeared, and now if I turn on the Apple TV by just pressing the remote to allow it to turn on, you can see when it turns back on, it automatically resumes at the point where I left off exactly. And also another pretty cool feature about the Apple TV app, if you're watching a series and you see the progress bar, 15 minutes and 13 seconds into this series, but if I turn on my control center right there, you can see right now the time is 9:07 p.m. or 21:07. So if I go back when the show is playing and you double tap the middle button like this, you can see it shows you the exact time right now, 21:08, and the time that it will be when the show or the series ends. So I'll double tap again, you can see 21:08, and when it ends it will be 21:26. Just to verify, you can see the time 21:08. So that's double tap, not double press. So it's just a matter of just simply soft double tapping the middle center on your Apple TV remote. Now in the Apple TV app, Siri is actually pretty amazing. So if a show is playing and you don't really understand what they said, you can press Siri and say, what did they say? And just give it some time. You can see it goes back by about 10 seconds and automatically turns on subtitles for just the duration of 10 seconds. And if you give it a little seconds, you can see subtitles will go off after the 10 seconds time frame has transpired. This works in most TV streaming services and applications as such as YouTube, Amazon, Apple TV Plus, and other shows. So if you want to go to the exact time frame, you can ask Siri, restart the series. You can see it restarts. Go to the 10-minute mark. You can see it goes to the 10-minute mark. Turn on subtitles. It automatically turns them on. Turn off subtitles. It automatically turns them off. And also by just using your finger to slide on this middle touch portion, you can see to give you the ability to fast forward during shows or to go back during shows, which is another way that you can use to quickly scroll to the exact point if you don't want to use Siri. And once you found the point, just tap enter and it will jump right there. You can also use Siri to save some time and find the exact show and exact episode. So for example, play Maxine Rolls the Dice Series 1 Episode 4. And you can see it rolls Maxine Rolls the Dice Series 1 Episode 4 and it continues where I left off, which will save you some time. Another feature or thing that you can do with the Apple TV is find different applications. So find Netflix. You can see it opens up Netflix and it's ready to go. Again, I can also ask Siri, search YouTube and open Mr. Beast channel. You can see it searches YouTube and it opens up Mr. Beast channel. If I move myself here, you can see this is exactly Mr. Beast channel. And now I can go and click on his channel and see his latest videos and shorts as well. So that way you save time. A pretty cool thing to know is that if you use Siri while watching like an Apple TV show, it automatically turns on captions for about 10 seconds after Siri has done its prompt. You can also use Siri to find shows that are directed by someone. So for example, show me shows directed by Brad Pitt. You can see the different shows that it's showing right here. And I can go to show me movies that were acted by Tom Cruise. You can see actor Tom Cruise and the different movies that Siri is showing me right here. You can also use Siri to do other different stuff such as turn off my Apple TV. And you can see it's turned it off. If you don't have your remote handy by, it will be able to use the mic on your iPhone or on the Apple Watch, whichever device is close by that has the same Apple ID as your Apple TV. It will be able to use that mic and turn off the Apple TV. Or for example, if I use my Apple Watch right here, I can say turn on my Apple TV. Coming right up, you can see what it says. And now it's prompting me to select the device I want to turn on. Boom. And now you can see my Apple TV just came on right there. And I can also be able to control it from my Apple Watch. I have two, but you can see this one is paused and I have the ability to be able to select audio devices and continue to use it. And if I had my iPhone handy as well, it would just use the Siri on the iPhone. So even if you don't have your remote, you can still use Siri from any nearby device. Since this microphone button is the one that's used for Siri in most cases, if you're at the home page and you double tap it, you can see it will double down as a search. And now you can hold and search for, let's say, Tom and Jerry. You can see it opens up the search application right there, and it searched for Tom and Jerry. At the same time, that is the equivalent of going into the applications and opening this search tab. So if you just double tap it while at this page, it will open up the search. But if you press and hold it, you can see it activates Siri, and now you can use Siri for different prompts. An application I've seen many people not know what's the purpose and what's the point of is this computers applications on the Apple TV. What this application does is turn on home sharing, which lets you stream movies and TV shows as well as other libraries in home. So for example, if you want to stream music ripped from different CDs or TV shows ripped to an iMac, then this is the same computers application that you can use. Now on the Apple TV, this is YouTube that I'm in right now. You can see as long as I'm on the top search bar, if I press and hold the mic button, you can see automatically it uses voice detection, and this way it's able to search depending on what I'm saying. In YouTube, if you go to the search bar, you can see on the iPhone automatically a keyboard pops up, and this is the same iPhone that's paired to the same iCloud ID as my Apple TV. So for example, if I type MKB HD on my iPhone, you can see it's syncing properly and timely with my Apple TV. And now every time I go to the search bar, the keyboard will pop up. But if you don't have your iPhone handy and you want to type on using your Apple TV remote, instead of going like, hey, all the way to A right there, and then you go to B, and then you go to the Z. So if you don't like this linear keyboard, what you can do is go into the settings right here, go to where it says general, and now you can see we have keyboard layout. It's set to auto, but if you want the linear one, like the one that's depicted on YouTube, you can select that one. Or if you want the grid one, then you can select the grid one. And now if we go into the YouTube application right here and go to the search, you can see the type of keyboard that we have. It's grid, and at the same time this will still be allow you to type on your iPhone if that's an option that you like. I like this grid one as it's faster and easier to use and allows you to use characters close to one another quicker. If you haven't been using the Apple TV's ability to switch between different applications, then you're missing out on something. So for example, I can be on my home page. If I double tap this TV icon, if you single press it, it will automatically open up the Apple TV. But then if I double tap it like this, you can see it opens up my different windows that I was recently in. So for example, if I want to open up the App Store, you can see I can quickly jump to the App Store, and then if I double tap it and go all the way back, I can look for like a different show in Apple TV by just switching so quickly. A pretty cool setting you might want to turn on your Apple TV is if you go into the settings and you go to video and audio, there's this section that says match content, and you can see by default it's off. And now here you have the ability to match dynamic range, and there's also the ability to match frame rate. Now when you turn on match frame rate, this means that the Apple TV will stream the content at the frame rate that it was originally meant to be streamed at. And if you're in a region, for example the NTSC region, where the default frame rate for most TV shows is 30 FPS, and those regions are like US, Japan, Canada, then the Apple TV will stream the content at the frame rate and resolution of the content. Otherwise, if this is off, the Apple TV will convert it to what is the default settings. And at the same time, if you are like in a PAL or a PAL region, that is most of Europe and Africa, where most of the frame rate is 25, then the Apple TV will automatically adjust accordingly to the frame rate. In settings under screensaver, you can see my current selection, and under areas right here, for example, you can see I can choose underwater. I can choose to show or hide it from my areas selection, or I can choose to hide or show cityscapes. When you are at home on your Apple TV application and you press the back button right here, you can see it automatically starts the screensaver show. And right here, if you swipe up on your remote, it gives you the ability to be able to change your selection without going into the settings. So for example, if you want photos and slideshow, you can see this will automatically be available once synchronized to your iCloud ID, and that's where it gets most of its pictures. And if you go on this side, you can see there's a new portraits slideshow that you'll be able to see as a screensaver, and this will also be processing some of your best portrait pictures and use machine learning to give you the best options. And at the same time, there's a new Snoopy selection that you can choose to be able to see the Beagle and Snoopy go at it, and this way you have another unique screensaver you can see on your Apple TV. Now for HomeKit users with the Apple TV 4K that has an Ethernet port or jack, that same Apple TV has thread capabilities that are basically useful when not just meshing your network, but also it becomes useful for using the Apple TV as a secondary terminal computer via third-party applications. And it doesn't actually end there, because with the latest iOS 18 and tvOS 18 update, you can now go into your home application and go into the settings, and now it gives you the ability to be able to choose a home hub selection and disable the automatic hub switching. So if you have multiple hubs and you don't want the Apple TV to switch to the one that maybe has the worst network or worst connectivity, if you'll be able to see your multiple options, and then you can manually select the home hub you want to set as your main one, and your designated option will remain as is and won't change automatically. On the fitness application right here, you can see it's very easy to integrate with. So if you have multiple users or you are sharing using HomeKit and home sharing, you'll be able to see the different devices and the different users. You can also add guests, and right here, if you, for example, select me right there, you can see it gives me the ability to confirm on my Apple Watch. And now if I connect right there, you can see personalizing my content, and now I can use Fitness Plus weekly to have a streak, or I can continue to build my custom plan right here. And it doesn't end there, because Apple is continuously updating the Apple Fitness application on the Apple TV, and it makes it so easy to begin. And you can see, for example, if I was to do meditation, it automatically triggers my Apple Watch, and I can control and be able to say play meditation, and right here you can see it's synchronizing with my Apple Watch, and now I'm listening to the audio, and I can be able to follow important metrics such as beats per minute and duration on my Apple Watch, while I follow along in this video and do the different tasks that I'm asked to do. I feel like something that's hardly talked about or overlooked when it comes to the Apple TV is how easy it is to connect other peripheral and other third-party devices. So if you have a Bluetooth enabled speaker, it doesn't have to be a HomePod device. As long as you can put it in pairing mode, it's very easy to connect it to your Apple TV. If you have like PlayStation controller or Xbox controller and you want to use it with your Apple TV device, it makes it very easy to do by just going into the pairing mode on your device that you want to connect, and you can easily go into the settings and select the Bluetooth device. What's even better is that if you have AirPods or Apple audio devices, then the process is very seamless. You can switch between your iPhone to your Apple TV to your Mac without any interruptions, and at the same time, thanks to audio sharing or SharePlay, you have the ability to share with someone by just scanning a QR code, and now you can be able to listen to the song that you wanted or watch the show that you wanted with someone without having to perhaps interrupt the kids if they are sleeping. If you have an Apple Watch, there's actually an Apple TV remote, and the icon was actually updated. So if I go to the list view right here and go to where it says R, so the icon on the remote was updated to reflect this exact model, the USB-C Apple TV remote. So if I open it right there, you can see it gives me the ability to use my Apple Watch as a remote for my Apple TV 4K 3rd gen. And if I click there right there, you can see it gives me the option to be able to swipe to navigate. So if I swipe up, you can see how it looks. If I swipe down, I can still be able to do that. If I want to multitask, I can double tap this, and now I have the ability to go into my different recent applications. If I press back, it goes here, and now if I press back again, it goes to the recent app. If I press back, now it's showing me the screensaver. At the same time, you can also play, pause, and be able to do different tasks on this Apple Watch by just being able to use it on your Apple TV. And something that I like right here is you have also captions that you can turn on if you're watching a show, or you have power options where you can power it off right there and the Apple TV is gone. Something that's good about this is that you actually don't need to go out and buy the latest Apple TV to experience most of the features and tweaks that I've shown. As long as you have a 2015 Apple TV HD or newer, then you'll be able to experience and see similar settings and features. But yeah, let me know if you would be interested in maybe a 1 hour long video where I could go into setting up the Apple TV and then tweaking and changing different aspects such as the top shelves, the applications, the home page, the folders, the VPNs. You know, there's so much I can do. So leave a comment down below what you would like to see and if that's something you would be interested in. And that's about it for me. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video pretty soon. Peace.